In the news this week, a teachers' union demands that schools endorse homosexual relationships. A gay rights campaign forces a change to a religious freedom law in Indiana, and a pro-life group speaks out at the UN. Hello and welcome to this week's news bulletin from the Christian Institute. We begin with our election focus, exploring key issues in the run-up to the general election. This week we're looking at the government's controversial British values agenda. Last year, the coalition government's Education Secretary, Nicky Morgan, introduced regulations compelling all schools in England to actively promote British values. Children at Christian and Jewish schools then faced intrusive questions from Ofsted inspectors, but following pressure from Christians, the prospect of a judicial review and challenges from MPs, the government issued helpful new guidance. The changes mean schools are now told to respect people rather than endorse their beliefs. Labour's Tristan Hunt has been critical of the top-down demand for the promotion of British values, while UKIP's deputy leader Paul Nuttall said he was appalled at the Ofsted inspectors' intrusive questioning. Schools should be made to teach children a positive portrayal of same-sex relationships, the National Union of Teachers has said. At its annual conference in Harrogate, the NUT backed the promotion of LGBT History Month and an LGBT-inclusive curriculum. Christine Blower, the General Secretary of the NUT, said all parties standing for election in May should adopt the proposals. However, the Christian Institute's Simon Calvert said the idea is an act of intolerance towards mainstream Christians and their beliefs. It would force Christian teachers to have to choose between their faith and their job. Chris McGovern of the Campaign for Real Education also spoke out. The rights of groups who oppose gay marriage on sincere religious grounds should be respected as much as those who support gay marriage. Thought control should not be promoted by the NUT. The Governor of Indiana has bowed to pressure from gay rights groups and changed a religious freedom law. Mike Pence said there had been misunderstanding and confusion about the law, which would have allowed business owners to act according to their sincerely held beliefs. LGBT campaigners, celebrities and business leaders took to social media to express their opposition. They accused the governor of discriminating against gay people, forcing him to amend the legislation. Supporters of the religious freedom law say it has been substantially weakened. Pro-family groups warned that the change will result in Christian bakers, florists and photographers being compelled to participate in same-sex weddings. Tim Black, deputy editor for online magazine Spiked, argued that so-called liberals are turning illiberal by trampling over religious freedom. He said that liberal society starts to unravel if there is a push for anti-discrimination legislation and ever more stringent equality laws. And finally, a pro-life organisation has addressed the United Nations calling for the medical establishment to end the use of the term incompatible with life. Representatives from Every Life Counts travelled to Switzerland to mark the launch of the Geneva Declaration on Perinatal Care. Speaking for the group were parents of children labelled as incompatible with life.
What does this term mean for a baby and its family? It means no help, no hope, no intervention. It means every baby diagnosed with one of these conditions is written off before they are even born. Their expectant parents are told that their baby will not be monitored during labour. The baby will not receive medical intervention. This term means that in the doctor's eyes, it is not a real baby. It's incompatible with life. This term gives no hope, and there is always hope.
We're just hoping that these horrible words will not be used again, as we shouldn't have to hear them. And we should be given all the care and compassion that every parent receives when they have a normal pregnancy, not shunned and ridiculed for our decisions to help our sick babies live.
The declaration states, as medical practitioners and researchers, we declare that the term incompatible with life is not a medical diagnosis and should not be used when describing unborn children who may have a life-limiting condition. It goes on to say, we fully support the development of perinatal hospice services for families who are told that their unborn child may not live for very long in the womb or after birth. Well, that's all for this week. For regular updates and information on all our stories, plus much more, visit our website at christian.org.uk. Until next time, goodbye.